Well, good afternoon. I'm sitting in front of Lowe's before I go into work. Last night I decided to look up Amberlynn Reid's claims that other YouTube eaters get lots of love and she doesn't. Same thing with Chantel. If you watched Jetson Austin's video on Chantel's latest Eat Fest at Popeyes, you'll know what I mean. That was a very good video. And then Belinda Carroll did one which is drop dead hilarious. Anywho's it, I was bored, so I started looking some of these channels up, and I was actually looking for a very specific channel which I didn't find until this morning, but we'll go into that in a minute. And yeah, they're right, a lot of these channels get a lot of love and a lot of admiration, but they're not pretending to be a weight loss channel. Yeah, I was actually surprised at all the great comments on some of these channels. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me. And they're not, reviewing food. They're basically just stuffing their faces. I can understand review channels getting respect and appreciation, but yeah, some of this is kind of frightening. Now, the channel I was originally looking for is called Joey's World Tour, and I couldn't remember the name of it. A little bit of background. First of the year, I started binge watching on YouTube various subjects. I'd kind of go from one subject to another after I'd kind of wore myself out on one subject. And I ended up on a channel called Beard Meets Food, which was probably the first eating channel I came across, and I'm actually subscribed to that. He's a competitive eater. He's not fat. He was when he was younger, but he has some videos that he always lists in his description about his workout routine, his weight loss journey, and what he eats on days when he's not consuming 10,000 calories. And not all of his eating videos are massive amounts of calories. He does a lot of restaurant challenges. He's done several hot challenges. And, he's not pretending to be anything but what he is. And his girlfriend is hilarious. Her nickname is Mrs. Beard, even though they're not married. But that led me into some other eating channels, including Joey's World Tour, which I only watched a few episodes of because, quite frankly, I find him obnoxious. But through this, I eventually came across Zachary B. Michael and fell into the Amberlynn Reid rabbit hole. So I went to one of Joey's videos today that he posted a few days ago, and he's got a weird mix of comments. Everything from love your content to you might as well be injecting large straight into your veins, to comments that are of a very, very adult nature. So I would say overall, the comments on eating channels, mukbang channels, kind of seems to depend on the intelligence of the commenters and whether or not they like the person. And a lot of people just don't like Chantel. and don't like Amberlynn Reed. Actually, I think more Amberlynn Reed's haters want her to lose weight, and I would say the same with Chantel, because they have purported to be on weight loss journeys at a time. You know, Chantel said she gained 10 pounds in a week, which is frightening. But Amberlynn Reed has done the same thing, and I did a video on that, on how she could do that, and it was surprisingly easy depending on the food. When I was looking for these mukbang channels, I came across something that is extremely frightening, and that's child mukbangs. And yeah, flat out child abuse. And I guess if the channel is quote unquote the child's channel, comments are disabled. Some of these were quote unquote run by the child, and others were run by adults. And the ones where there were comments on, you know, people thought it was child abuse. And these mukbang kids, they know the tricks, you know. They show the food, they do the yum 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 thing. Yum 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 yum. Not that a polar bear would be doing that right now, because all that's in there is my apple bites and the toy. But yeah, I think this is very dangerous of their parents to let them do this. Like I said, a lot of these kids weren't fat, although you could tell some of them were starting to get a little bit overweight. There were other videos that have been reposted by other channels showing really fat kids eating, and these were from Southeast Asia. I don't know if these kids were, you know, Korean, Japanese, Vietnamese, you know. I think the one kid was Chinese, but you know, I don't know enough to tell the difference. So, but I mean, this kid was probably, God, 2.5 years old maybe, and I'll bet he was every bit of 70 pounds. I mean, fat as can be. And this re-uploaded video, I think, had well over 1 million views. I mean, it was just frightening how many people had watched this. You know, I think I watched it for about 1 minute, so yeah, I probably did give it a view, but I just kind of wanted to see what was going on. And after that, the rest of the child videos, I'd click onto it, pause, and go see if there were comments. So yeah, and this is different from where people are, you know, just showing their young kids trying a food for the first time or whatever, or just eating as part of a family meal. But yeah, my opinion, flat out, YouTube needs to ban these child mukbangs. They are child abuse. And if I had to be totally blunt, which I'm going to be, I think a lot of these videos are aimed at adults, and not because the adults think it's cute to see kids eat. It's for sexual reasons. Flat out, it's child abuse in multiple ways. Not only teaching the kids bad food habits, but sexualizing them in a more socially appropriate way, let's say. So yeah, that's my opinion on the world of mukbangs and child mukbangs. And I will, no, let me finish. We do have Yeah, sure I can talk. I was actually going to do the child mukbang portion in Wendy's, but there was a couple of kids sitting across the aisle, and they were kind of loud, and I knew they would get curious about what I was doing, so I just did the one shot of polar bear sitting there with the food. The chicken wrap with the kids meal is 300 calories. I think the cheeseburger was 280. I don't remember the hamburger or the 4-piece nugget calories. If you got the fries, they were 230 calories. I don't remember what the milk is. I'm thinking it was like 80 calories. Water 0. If you get a diet soda, that's 0. If you get a regular cup of soda and just had the 1 cup, that'd be 140. So, you know, you could a kid could easily have 600 or 700 calories even with a kid's meal. I had the apple slices. Those are 35 calories, and I'll eat those later tonight at work. And a diet soda. There would have been ice in it, but their ice machine was down. But at least the soda itself was cold. So that's my opinion on people's comments on mukbangs and the dangers of child mukbangs. And I hope you have a great day.